Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Another week gone by. Another Friday's here, another good, bad, and ugly to go over. This is my sixth time trying to film this between my dog deciding to just go nuts and the computer updates. We're just going to go ahead and go for it this time. So I don't know about y'all, but I feel like this week just flew by and February has just been a blur to me. So it's really hard to believe this is already the third good, bad, and ugly of the month. But let's take a look and see what we had going on this week. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Alrighty. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. So I wish we could say that we had 2 or less negative reviews this week, like I was hoping. Fortunately, we did not. It wasn't horrific by any means, and we did have the positive outweigh the negative, but I was really hoping that we would continue on that trend of low numbers for the negative reviews. But we did have 30 in total. Out of these, 25 were positive, 0 were neutral, and 5 were negative. And Sochi, as usual, is taking a little bit to catch up. They have us at 18 reviews total. I know for sure they're missing 3 Yelp reviews here. And the majority of our reviews came through Google, which is, pretty normal for us. And then we have a couple on Facebook. I know our ratings jumped up a bit there. I'll have to see where we are at the beginning of next week and add that into next week's good, bad, ugly, because I do believe we jumped up in a couple of branches. But besides that, we did have 3 positive on Yelp, and I want to say 3 out of our 5 negative reviews were also on Yelp, which is kind of interesting. We tend to not have a lot of Yelp in general, but anyways, there were no bad reviews or neutral, so we'll go ahead and get right to the ugly. There was a lot to discuss for this week. So starting off with Kathy M. She said, I called about starting service for weed control and was scheduled for an appointment. They never showed, and I got a text rescheduling. They didn't show on the reschedule date, so I called to cancel service. They are now claiming they came and are charging me for a visit. I have cameras around my home, so I would be able to see if they came. I have called multiple times with no resolution. Do not recommend. So after looking at this account, this customer did cancel in November, overrouting expectations. So she thought that, the call aheads meant we were going to be there on that exact day. And when that didn't happen, we were breaking our promise. She's losing trust. So that was already an issue with her. But we did come back out before she canceled, but she's claiming that we didn't treat the whole property and she's entitled to her refund of $47 for that application. We just went ahead and wrote this off in the hopes that she would take this review down. She said that she would when her account balance showed the correct balance of $0. We did go ahead and take care of this, and Brian did let her know that she's good to go. Her account's in good standing. But as of right now, the review still remains up. I was really, really hoping that she would take this down as a show of good faith. She still might, but as of this afternoon, it's still there. And usually when people take down reviews, they're pretty quick with it. It's rare that they spend a whole weekend. If it's up over a weekend, it usually stays there. But we tried on that one. So the next one, GW, he said, received an email Wednesday and a text message that they should be out on Thursday to do round 2, and they never showed. After a phone call to customer service, I was promised a phone call, never received. After having this issue last year, I've canceled your service. So this was actually kind of a misunderstanding. Jessica looked into this, and we actually did not ghost the customer. It's kind of a weird circumstance. We had a technician quit in the middle of the day, so we were not able to make the appointment. We didn't have enough people to make it out there. We did make a mistake, though. We should have informed him of this. We should have said, hey, we had a slight hiccup today, so we will not be out this afternoon like we originally said, but we will be out by X date. So we did drop the ball there for sure. I'm not sure. I didn't see anything in the account about him receiving a phone call or trying to ask for a manager. But regardless, Jessica did reach out and she said, I was not able to save or take down the review. I was really nice to him, but he says that it's his opinion and the truth. I told him about the hard times you're in with hiring and it was a complete accident. Maybe he will take it down, but I do not know. And as of that afternoon, I'm still seeing it up. I don't think he was, I think this was going to stay up anyways. So that was our fault for not letting him know. But it also sounds like this customer has really, really high expectations. And he already seemed like he was irritated with us before this even happened. So I hate that that one's still on there, but now we know we have to make sure that we are keeping our customers in the loop and we are taking care of everyone when we say we are, or let them know otherwise. So this last negative review, this customer says, I used Weedman for about 2 to 3 years. While it was initially good, I was put off by their solicitation phone calls for upsells on their services. Most of them were not really needed, and it was just a way to pad their pocket. I never bought their extra suggested services and never had any of the issues they said I would have if I did not have their extra applications. I called them and told them I did not want to get these sales calls anymore, and they agreed that they would not have anyone call me. Unfortunately, not 3 days later, I got another call. I had to remind them that they were not supposed to call me and try to upsell their services. They apologized and assured me I would not get more calls. Fortunately, that was the end of their calls. Okay. I continued to use them for another year until I moved. I called them to cancel services when I moved. All good. We left as friends. However, 3 months later, I have moved to a new state, 2,000 miles away, and I get an invoice from them for $70 for spraying my lawn with the threat of sending me to collections if I do not pay up in 10 days. This irritates me for a few reasons. 1, I canceled services. 2, I never got the service they claim. 3, I don't even live there anymore. 4, why are they sending me this demand letter 3 months later? This seems very aggressive, especially when I didn't even get the services they claim I got. I have no intent on paying for services I never received. Yes, okay, $70 isn't a lot of money, and it doesn't write a lot of, $70 isn't a lot of money, and it would be easy to pay it and just have them go away. But I find their practices to collect more money to be very unethical. I don't write a lot of reviews, but Weedman has rubbed me the wrong way. P.S. Google Weedman angry customer complaints. Don't do that. My situation is not unique. You'll find several complaints of customers having similar issues. I am just sharing my experience, and for this reason, I will never use them again. That was a lot. Essentially, this boils down to the customer receiving these upsell calls. It sounds to me like he did not have the right idea of what the upsells were. I don't know if anyone ever let him know that, hey, these are optional. These are just recommendations. We're not saying you'll have these issues if you choose not to do this. He's looking at it as a way of us trying to swindle and get more money out of him, which is just not the truth. So that was really the main issue here. But besides that, it was just the classic issue of not understanding continuous service. So he didn't cancel when he moved. And as a result, we came back out and, did the application. So he was charged for that. There's nothing we can really do since that was on him to cancel. He didn't, it is what it is. But Dylan did reach out and ask him about the upsells and, see if we could get that taken care of once and for all, and also inform him about why we have additional services and all of that. But the customer said that he does not trust us due to the upsells. He states that's why he canceled and left the review. He did not want to speak to Dylan about anything and hung up on him. So that one's a little rough, but that's a prime example of why we need to make sure that we are putting people on the do not contact list, do not call, do not solicit the first time they say so, just so we can avoid things like this, because it really is, this was a whole lot. It seems like they had some misunderstandings and all this was exasperated by the upsells. So we need to make sure that we are taking these requests seriously and putting them on that the first time that they complain. Like he said, everything was good after that. You know, he forgot to cancel the service. So that's what that was. But we need to make sure we are doing that. So we did have a bit of a rough week with these reviews. Weirdly enough, most of these were in Texas for some reason, which usually is not the case. Usually Roswell, especially our Roswell Google page, is like the catch-all for all of our branches. So odd to me that a lot of these were Texas related. And I really thought for sure we would get some of these taken down, especially since we wrote off, you know, some customers' balances. And maybe I'll be proven wrong, but you know, none of them were taken down. They seemed very stubborn and did not want to really hear what we had to say. But I will say that we were pretty quick to reach out and get these reviews taken care of. So we are on the ball with that. And another positive is that we had a bit of a saga beginning of the week with a customer. I mentioned him in last week's video, but he was threatening to leave multiple bad reviews if we didn't write off his balance for him not canceling continuous service. So we thought that was the end of that. He really followed through on his promise and created 4 different accounts to leave reviews on. So he left 5 negative reviews in San Antonio. So we had to write off that balance, and he did take them all down, thankfully. So that was kind of scary at the beginning of the week. So we've been looking at 10 negative reviews. So thankfully he did do what he said he would, but you know, at least those aren't up anymore. So that was a positive that we got that taken care of. But now for the good. We have Doug. He said, this company is truly dedicated to keeping their customers happy. They always get back to me right away when I have questions or concerns. Perry said, just spoke to Chris in customer service, and he was very helpful in answering questions about my account. He looked up things very quickly and helped to make adjustments. This one's kind of hard to read, but Tarek says, great service, great company. Used them for years, great customer service too. Similar to that, Michelle said, Weed Man is always willing to come out and retreat if any weeds pop up between treatments, not a weed in sight. So I love seeing all these positive comments about our customer service. This is definitely an improvement from this time last year and even a few months ago when most of our complaints were about customer service. So to have that flipped and have our positives focus on the customer service is huge. So we are still doing great there. And on to our review mentions. We did have 5 employees mentioned reviews this week. So we had Chrisman, Trey, and Ashley had 3. And I believe Chrisman is the second rep from OC Tech who has been mentioned in review. I think the first was Clark. So awesome job, guys. You're definitely being appreciated by our customers, and it's showing in all of our reviews. And I'm wondering who is going to challenge Ashley next week because she has a system going. So that being said, we did have the minimum of 3 names mentioned, so we can go ahead and do our bonus wheel. And I did try to make the spaces as equal as possible, but with an odd number, you know, that's not going to happen. So just know that I did try to space them out. So without further ado, let us click the wheel. Oh my gosh. Congratulations, Trey. That was so close. I thought it wasn't going to make it, but congratulations. I think that is the second time you've won the bonus spin. I believe the first time we did this, you won too. So congratulations. Enjoy your extra money this week. And then we do have the total for 2022 so far. We still have the star only ratings taking up the majority of our reviews, but ops is on the rise, and check out Ashley here with the 4.9% of the whole chart. That's pretty impressive. And I don't know, I'm sensing a little competition growing as we keep doing these bonus spins and, share this data. So great job, Ashley. Keep killing it there. And we do have our collage for this week. And if y'all can see right here, this is a Yard of the Month sign, which is always awesome to see. And I did include some of these greener lawns on our collage and posted those to our Google page, because I would like customers to see those alongside the current lawns right now in dormancy, because spring is around the corner. I've already seen an uptick in interest on social media about, quotes and all that. So I'm going to start sprinkling in some more of those as we get closer to spring. But I did want to share this with y'all too. I got this email earlier, I think it was on Wednesday. So our 28 photos that I posted on our Google page got 4,128 total views in the last month. So this was the most viewed photo. It was viewed 676 times. And this is interesting. 90% of customers are more likely to visit a business that's added photos to their Google listing. So I wanted to show y'all that because it really puts into perspective how important these photos are. I mean, 4,000 views is pretty crazy. And in the last 2 days, I went back and counted. We have had almost 500 views just from the photos in the collage. So keeping our Google page updated with our fresh photos shows that we're, very active online, most likely to customers, responsive online. And it also is showing, not only potential customers, but current customers, the best of the best, letting them know that, we're everywhere. We're not just a small time company. We're out there doing it, and we have great lawns to show for it. So wanted to let y'all see that. Keep them coming. We did a really great job of getting this in this week. But with that all being said, that wraps up another week. So thank you all for your hard work, your dedication. This was kind of a tough week on the review front. We've had worse, for sure. 5 is not what we would want, but we pushed through, and I can say with confidence that we did reach out to all these people and did our very best and really compromised with the customers, even when we weren't necessarily in the wrong. So what we're doing does matter. We are making a positive influence in our customers' lives and, changing their lawn for the better. So don't lose sight of that. The negatives are always louder than the positives. But thank you all so much for everything this week. And I will see you guys next week with another video. Have a good rest of your Friday. Happy weekend.